Did you know that the Kaaba, located in the heart of Mecca, is not only the direction Muslims face in prayer, Qibla, but is also believed to have been originally built by Prophet Ibrahim, and his son Ismail as a house of monotheistic worship, making it one of the oldest religious sanctuaries still venerated today? What would it take for someone to leave their family in a barren desert with no visible source of life, simply out of trust in God's command? This was one of the immense trials faced by Prophet Ibrahim. How does such unwavering faith shape the legacy of Islam? Prophet Abraham, a central figure in Islam, is revered for his unwavering faith and devotion to the one God, Allah. One of the most profound episodes in his life is his mission to build the Kaaba sacred sanctuary, located in Mecca, which holds immense significance for Muslims around the world. According to Islamic tradition, after successfully passing a series of difficult tests from Allah, including the command to leave his wife Hajar and son Ismail in the barren valley of Mecca, Ibrahim was guided to establish a place of worship. Alongside his son Ismail, he raised the foundations of the Kaaba as the first house ever built solely for the worship of the one God. This act symbolized the beginning of a legacy of pure monotheism. The Kaaba was not only a physical structure but also a spiritual center, meant to unite humanity in the worship of their Creator. Today, millions of Muslims face the Kaaba during their daily prayers and perform the Hajj pilgrimage around it, continuing the legacy of Prophet Ibrahim's devotion and submission to God's will. His story serves as a timeless reminder of faith, sacrifice, and the profound importance of sincere worship. Prophet Ibrahim faced numerous formidable obstacles in his mission to establish monotheism and build the Kaaba. Each challenge he encountered highlights his extraordinary faith, patience, and reliance on Allah. Here are some of the key trials he endured. Ibrahim was born into a society steeped in idol worship, including his own father, who was a maker of idols. He openly challenged the beliefs of his people, which led to mockery, social rejection, and eventually hostility. His defiance of the ruling powers and their religious practices led to severe consequences, including being thrown into a blazing fiery event, from which Allah miraculously saved him. Unlike later prophets who had followers, Ibrahim often stood alone, with only a few supporters, such as his wife and son. Constructing the Kaaba in the remote valley of Mecca required great physical effort, using limited tools and resources in an area with no existing infrastructure or population. Mecca at the time was a barren desertry, uninhabited, and lacking water or vegetation. Leaving his wife Hajar and infant son Ismail in such a desolate place, with no immediate means of survival, was one of his greatest tests of trust in Allah. The famous emergence of the Zamzam well is viewed as a divine response to Hajar's and Ibrahim's faith during this trial. Despite these overwhelming challenges, Prophet Ibrahim remained steadfast in his mission. His trials became symbols of trust, sacrifice, and the human struggle for faith, all of which are deeply embedded in Islamic teachings and rituals today. Prophet Ibrahim's journey is one of profound faith, relentless determination, and a legacy of devotion that continues to inspire believers today. Despite overwhelming obstacles, he remained unwavering in his mission to uphold monotheism and fulfill God's commands. Here is a closer look at how he overcame these trials with patience, trust in Allah, and the support of his son Ismail. From a young age, Prophet Ibrahim questioned the idol worship around him. He boldly challenged his people and even his own father, inviting them to worship the one true God. His courage led to severe backlash, culminating in his being cast into a massive fire by his people. Yet, he did not waver. Allah protected him, turning the fire cool and safe, a miraculous sign of divine support and Ibrahim's unwavering faith. After being driven away by his people, Prophet Ibrahim continued his mission with steadfast determination. Though isolated and lacking followers, he remained focused on the greater purpose: to establish a legacy of belief in one God. His trust in Allah never faltered, even when the path ahead was unclear or seemed impossible. One of Ibrahim's greatest trials was being commanded by Allah to leave his wife Hajar and infant son Ismail in the uninhabited desert valley of Mecca. There was no water, no people, no shelter, just barren land. Yet, trusting in Allah's wisdom, he obeyed without hesitation. It was in this moment of ultimate reliance on God that the miraculous well of Zamzam gushed forth, providing life-saving water and making the valley a place of eventual settlement and significance. Years later, when Ismail had grown, Ibrahim returned to Mecca. Together, father and son began the divine mission of building the Kaaba, a first house of worship dedicated solely to Allah. Despite the physical hardship, the harsh desert environment, and limited materials, they labored in harmony, reciting the prayer, "Our Lord, accept this from us. Indeed, you are the hearing, the knowing." Quran 2:127. This father-son partnership was more than a construction project. It was a spiritual act of obedience and legacy building. Their work laid the foundation for the Hajj pilgrimage and the Qibla direction of prayer for all Muslims. Ibrahim's journey also includes the ultimate test when Allah commanded him in a dream to sacrifice his beloved son, Ismail. Both father and son submitted willingly to God's will, but Allah intervened at the last moment, replacing Ismail with a ram. This act of faith is commemorated every year during Eid al-Adha, reminding Muslims of the values of sacrifice, trust, and submission. Through each test, whether societal rejection, physical hardship, or emotional sacrifice, Prophet Ibrahim remained steadfast. With Ismail by his side, he proved that true faith is not just belief, but action rooted in trust and obedience to Allah. His journey teaches that even the greatest challenges can be overcome when guided by faith, supported by family, and empowered by divine purpose. At last, after years of trials, sacrifices, and unwavering devotion, the moment arrived. Prophet Ibrahim and his son Ismail completed the construction of the Kaaba. Standing in the heart of the once barren valley of Mecca, the sacred structure rose simple in form, yet immense in spiritual significance. This was no ordinary building. It was the first house of worship dedicated solely to the one God, a beacon of monotheism in a world still engulfed by idolatry. As they placed the final stones, father and son turned to the heavens in humility and hope, reciting a heartfelt prayer. "Our Lord, accept this from us. Indeed, you are the hearing, the knowing." Quran 2:127. This moment marked the triumph of faith over fear, perseverance over hardship, and the fulfillment of a divine mission against all odds. From the rejection of society, the loneliness of exile, and the harshness of the desert, Prophet Ibrahim emerged victorious not through force or wealth, but through trust in Allah and relentless determination. The completed Kaaba stood as a symbol of unity, devotion, and the eternal bond between humanity and their creator. It would go on to become the spiritual center of Islam, drawing millions of believers in prayer and pilgrimage, generation after generation. In that sacred moment, the desert that once echoed with silence now resonated with the legacy of a man whose faith had transformed emptiness into holiness. We hope this powerful story of Prophet Ibrahim and the building of the Kaaba inspired you as much as it inspires millions around the world. It's a timeless reminder of how faith, patience, and trust in Allah can overcome even the greatest challenges. What part of Ibrahim's journey stood out to you the most? Was it his courage, his sacrifice, or the deep bond with his son Ismail? Let us know in the comments. We'd love to hear your reflections and insights. Hungry to learn more? Don't forget to check out our other videos on the rich and fascinating history of Islam, from the lives of other prophets to the spiritual meaning behind key rituals and events. Like, share, and subscribe so you don't miss any future episodes. Thanks for watching, and may peace be upon you.